Hello and welcome to Italy and the UIM E1 World Championship presented by PIF. Anticipation is rising here in Lake Como as the all-electric raceboat series hits Europe for round 2. This year's bigger than ever. 10 teams going head-to-head on 4 continents, featuring some of the biggest names in global sports and entertainment. The striking racebird fleet, guided by male and female pilots, will certainly put on a wonderful show. It's going to be a tough battle throughout this whole series. Well, we are looking forward to seeing the racing continuing, or getting underway after the qualifying. Final one of E1 Lake Como 2026, presented by Villa d'Este, is a few minutes away. I'm Ben Edwards, and alongside me is former E1 pilot Anna Glennon. Anna, we are looking forward to this, and now we can take a look at how the championship standings are after just the first event in Jeddah.
Yeah, things are really looking interesting this weekend. You know, we've seen Aoki at the top of the championship standings, but things have been flipped upside down coming into this weekend. The water conditions are playing a huge part, and I think today's going to be even gnarlier. There's a lot of leisure boats out there today.
So Aoki Racing Sarah Misa at the top of the table for the first time ever, much to the frustration of Tom Brady's champions.
The final race of the weekend, and it is on.
Radio check, radio check.
Loud and clear.
I'm very boosted this year. Plus this year Sarah is here with us. I'm very, very proud to have you here.
Obviously, Team Rafa and Aoki were the main competitors last year.
You're lane 1, second is Brady.
We have a very similar mentality and focus and work ethic.
A reminder that it will be Aoki on your left.
The team mantra is fiercely competitive. Don't leave anything on the table, leave no stone unturned.
Go, go, go.
Here we go, the race is on in Jeddah.
Please.
On the inside line, Sarah Mizir, she has the optimum position, but has she got the pace?
Rafa on the inside, trying to roll over the top.
Oh, they're coming together between the Aoki and the Rafa Racebird.
Got hit hard by Rafa on my right.
Absolute chaos in the middle of the pack, and it's Sarmasir out in front.
So you've got Rafa on your right.
Oh, we got contact. Brady and Rafa getting together.
No stress. Behind there, finding a lot.
Sarmasir, she will go short lap right out of the gate. Team Brady goes long lap.
That early long lap, getting it out of the way, knowing you can use that short lap later to make up the time.
Boost is high, boost is high. You're clear of Rafa, move left. Head down, let's close the gap. We should get some clean water now.
We need lap time. Keep pushing.
The boat is very unstable. Try my best.
The question is, has Aoki built up enough lead to take that long lap and still stay ahead of Team Brady?
We can still win this, just need to close the gap to Aoki.
Okay, everything you have, and long lap.
If she keeps it smooth, I think she'll be able to ride this one home. Now keep an eye on Brady. They've saved that short lap for the last lap.
Yep.
Where are they going to come out?
It will be close with Sierra.
This may be looking for a Brady second position.
You're ahead.
Meanwhile, it is clear water and clear racing for Aoki Racing Team.
Bring it home, take the checker flag.
Take a bow, Aoki Racing Team. 2 years in a row, they take the win here on the Red Sea. Team Brady will go second.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
The big prize go to Aoki Racing Team. Fear the Dragon indeed.
And more news in this year's championship. 5th place Sierra Racing Club have announced 2 new owners. That's double trouble for their rivals and double the ambition. Kyla Kuzma, NBA champion, and Thibaut Courtois, 2-time Champions League winning goalkeeper. Let's catch up with them.
When I first saw these race birds, I knew this was something I wanted to be a part of, especially when you look at the star-studded group around E1.
To join all those global icons like Brady, Nadal, Drogba, LeBron, it's really special.
These are global icons that are pushing the sport to a different type of level.
Who would I want to beat the most? That's a tough question. Maybe Drogba, because he was my teammate at Chelsea.
Yeah, I always want to be a part of the next thing.
E1, are you ready for us?
So a pair of team owners really helping and pushing on. But let's look at what we've got to go through today. Anna, you've raced in these. Just explain that we're going to get plenty of races before we get to the points at the end.
Yeah, so first up this morning, we're going to have these teams fighting for gate position, moving into the second race, which is going to get them into the final. So really, it's race 2 that we're looking at, but race 1 is how you get set up.
Absolutely. And each finishing position sets your starting position then for the next event. And you go all the way to the final, when then, at last, the points come up. And that's where it's so important. Right, so we're getting all ready for these races. There is a slight delay at the moment, but let's go down and join Taylor.
Well, this is where I will be all weekend long here on the launch zone. It's a little bit tight, it's a little bit rocky, but that's what we're here for. This beautiful setting of Lake Como is definitely somewhere that I enjoy being, as well as the crew. I'm hanging out here with Team Alula. How are you guys feeling this morning?
Feeling confident today.
They should definitely feel confident because these guys are on the top. What is your strategy? Nobody ever gives me insight. Are you ready to give me some insight?
Yeah. Strategy is get up front, go fast.
Well, you heard it here from Alula. That's the strategy. I'm going to see if I can go this way a little bit. We've got Nerea here. She's getting a little shade. Emma Kimmelainen from Brady passing me. But Nerea, how are you feeling this morning? You guys are at the top. Rusty pulled it off yesterday. You finished with that first qualifier position. How does that go into your strategy or your mindset going into race day?
Yeah, yesterday was a really good day with the pole position, but today is important, so we will push as much as possible. My race result now will fix the position for Rusty, so I will push to keep the P1.
Excellent, thank you, and best of luck. I'll leave her to stay in the zone. I'm going to keep moving down the dock here. But what a day. Rusty obviously sets the tone. So now in this next race, Nerea is going to get started, and then her position will determine where Rusty goes moving forward. But I'm going to see if I can get a quick word. Good morning, Sarah Price. How are you? I've got a camera here. Here we go. Good. Emma Kimmelainen passing us.
See you guys.
Good morning. That's how it is. It's getting a little wild down here.
Already.
Sarah Price, Westbrook Racing. Yesterday was quite a day. You were so close on that qualifying, just tenths of a second behind, but that still has to feel good. You guys are starting in second, and you're in Group 2, so you're not going to be going against Alula.
No.
How does it feel going today?
I think it's a great day. I'm excited. We've been fast, and so, yesterday Alula got on top, and congrats to them. I'm pumped for them. We were very close, but we've been fast, and so Lucas is up first. He has quite the battle in front of him, I think, and then I'm up. So today, anything can really happen, but every race, everything resets, and so it all comes down to making it to the end and just being the first one to finish.
That's really what it is about, and I think both you and Lucas are incredibly strong. We saw some really, really fast. You were the first one yesterday to drop below that 120 lap time, so that was pretty impressive. I love seeing females out here making a stand, but Lucas has got a lot to get you that first position so you can find that speed.
For sure, Lucas has been killing it. He's been really fast as well, and I think that's one thing that is a strength of mine is I evolve and I adapt pretty fast, and so I can kind of hop in anything and be up to pace, but then after that, it goes to the drawing board and let's get faster and do the homework. So, but it's beautiful here. Couldn't ask for a better day.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Well, thanks for chatting with me, Sarah. Best of luck. I'm going to keep going down, see if I can surprise any other more pilots as we go down this line here. Westbrook is looking incredible. As you can see, we've got some of our team owners, Sierra Racing Club. I got a chance to speak to Thibaut Courtois and Kyle Kuzma this morning already, but they're making friends. I'm going to go behind this and see if they can get a good view. Excuse me, gentlemen. Obviously, Katie Munnings, Eric Stark are our pilots there for Sierra Racing Club. But continue with me. Let's keep going down this paddock here and see who else we can talk to. Timmy Hansen, come here. Excuse me. Team Miami, Timmy Hansen. I really wanted to see you yesterday in that final qualifying session. We spoke yesterday. You were running those 116. You wanted to go for that 115. Yeah. Today is your chance to make that happen. What's it going to take?
To be honest, I don't think we'll be doing the 115s today because in qualifying, you're all out for one qualifying lap. You're emptying all of your boost for that single lap. Now we got to think a bit more race strategy. We got to think about the other boats. We got to think the long lap, short lap. So, but even if you are in the lead and you have clean water, you still won't have that extra boost that you got in qualifying. So I think today good lap will be like below 20s will be, then I think then you can win the race if you're in that kind of range. But yeah, the chance to do 115, that's past, I think. And I was looking forward to the race with Micah in Q4, see who of us could get it, but yeah.
I hope this doesn't sound a lot like your driver excuses podcast.
Oh, it's definitely a driver excuse, you know. Oh, the water was choppy, so I couldn't do it, and we don't have the boost, you know. I know all of the excuses.
And tell me about your new teammate. Obviously, Team Miami is coming out swinging. How has it been going so far?
You know, the most impressive part of Rihanna for me so far was in practice day. There was one of the practices when we could do starts, and they got a bit racy out there, all the boats together. And she was a brilliant racer. Like, she was taking her opportunities, she was passing people, she was great in the starts. So, you know, I think today she's really going to come alive. And this is still her first race with our team, and she's already performing very well. We got into a good position in qualifying. So I'm so excited for today. And still I feel very confident handing the boat over to her. And I really believe she can make great results today, and we'll keep bringing each other forward.
Wonderful. Thank you, Timmy. Best of luck.
Thank
Team
you.
Miami, I'll let you get back to your zone. Max, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Max Nochet from Team Monaco. Yesterday, I didn't get a chance to speak to you yesterday. You had quite the comeback. You guys found that speed. You finished third in qualifying. How does the team feel this morning?
I mean, we're feeling great, a bit stressed. I mean, it's our first race in that line. So let's see. I mean, we have a good strategy. We see if we can align everything to perform. So let's see at the end of the day. Anyway, we have a good day yesterday. We improved a lot. So we are quite happy about it.
Wonderful. Well, best of luck today, Max.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to keep moving on. I'm really excited to see what Monaco has to offer this week. It's going to be a really exciting day. Now I'm going to talk to a fellow American, one of my favorite guys out here.
Good morning.
Mr. John Peters, good morning.
Doing?
I'm wearing a little bit of orange for the Team
glad it
Blue
isn't
Rock.
yellow?
Aren't you glad it isn't?
Oh my gosh, that's good.
Our fellow comedian down here
That's
on the
not
docks. How are you feeling? Obviously, you run double duty, right? Team principal, pilot out there. What is that dynamic like for you? How busy is your race day?
You know, it is, this afternoon or this morning's been really nice. It's, you know, like we're here at lovely Lake Como. We made most of our decisions last night of what we need to do. So, you know, it's not too active today. The last 2 days have been really quite active. As TP and driver, all the excuses, I don't get any. So that's unfortunate, but it is the reality.
And let's talk about Michelle Alabanan. You obviously, well, maybe not obviously to some of our newer viewers, but you ran that race alone in Jeddah. So this is your first race being back with two pilots. Alleviates a little bit of the pressure, but Michelle obviously has that experience from Aoki. So it's nice to have a pilot who's done these races before. But King of Starts.
You know, I've heard that before, so hopefully I don't let myself down, let alone other people. So King of Starts, we'll see. We're going to watch the first heat, see what the timings are, and calculate it to what we had yesterday. Michelle on the team, yeah, you know, 50% more driver. Or is that 100% more driver? It's 100% more driver. So we're really excited about that we'll be able to compete in all the heats. We had a lot of issues with the boats yesterday, but we'll shake that off, and we're going to go for the gold today.
I definitely think you guys are going to find a lot of success. Obviously, those penalties are not the way you want to start, but we know it's anybody's game here. So best of luck, John.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well. All right, I'm going to keep moving along the docks here. We've got all of our charging equipment. I spoke with Max earlier with Team Monaco. I don't think Oben's around for me to chat with, but that's okay. We'll head on down to Drogba. Drogba also. Micah! Good morning, Micah. How are you this morning?
Fantastic. How you doing?
You're relaxing. You've got the umbrellas. You've got the music. The vibes here in Como are unmatched.
The vibes are good. Staying relaxed before it all kicks off and gets spicy in a few hours.
It's definitely going to get sporty out there. You also have a new pilot, a new teammate, Tara. How is she feeling? I saw her this morning. She seems energetic and excited to start the race day.
She is super excited. She's going to rip it up out there. I'm super excited to see her go today. First race, yeah, she's a machine.
Yesterday you called her a weapon. Obviously, she's an Olympic champion. You guys have different experience. Tell me a little bit about how your race experience helps you out here in the Race Birds.
Yeah, so Tara and I both come from a foiling sailing background. So of all the people in the world, we spend a lot of time on foils. So that element of the race bird, is super helpful. But that's qualifying day. We might be fast, but the racing, there's some hard races out here. You got your Rusties, Erics. Well, everyone on this grid is super competitive. So, yeah.
I have no estimates of who's going to win. I have no idea. Everybody's strong today.
Yesterday got turned on its head. We got the top 2 teams in the championship, Aoki and Brady, yesterday. I can't remember that. I think they might have been 7th and 8th. So it's going to be a really interesting day. They're going to be charging through the field in some of the heats, and you got to be watching because it's going to be fantastic.
Awesome. Best of luck today, Micah.
Thanks very much.
All right, well, that's it. This is the end of the walk for the Paddock Walk. I'll be Paddock Walk. We're here on the launch zone. We're here on the launch zone. I'll be here all day long speaking with the pilots, the crews, trying to get their strategy and bring it to you guys live as much as I can. Otherwise, it's a beautiful day here in Como. Can't wait to get to some racing.
Thank you. Taylor Snyder doing a great job of catching up with everybody and telling us what's going on. Now, Westbrook, they've had a great time here at Lake Como. Happy hunting ground for them because they had their 1 win here at Lake Como in 2024, final race of that season. And they are also part, very happily, to see their home race will be taking place in E1 this year. The home race will be taking place round 5 at Angola.
E1 will host the Luanda Grand Prix this year, right here in the Yacht Club.
Yeah! Yeah! This is our boat, and we will be competing against a lot of fantastic other owners. Yeah. You would think that someone like Tom Brady or Mark Anthony or LeBron James would be able to relax and just have fun, but everybody wants to win really badly. The team has to make sure we win.
It's an honor to be accepted by the E1 to bring the competition to Angola.
The objective, of course, is to promote clean mobility, electric mobility in the water all around the world. And Africa plays a very, very important role in this.
It's the beginning of something. You can feel it, the energy, the vibrancy. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Will. It means so much that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, great news that Angola is going to be a part of the championship this year. As I mentioned, it's going to be round 5. It's going to be on the 13th of September, but it's the first time be going out in South Africa. I think that's going to be a real opportunity for everybody.
Yeah, I think for Westbrook especially, that's going to be their home race. And it's kind of double-edged sword if you want to think about it. There's going to be so much excitement around it being their home race, but there's also going to be a little bit of added pressure for them to perform. E1 does a great job of promoting the races coming into the event, so all the locals are going to be really excited, and they're especially going to be excited to see Westbrook. So hopefully it doesn't add too much pressure to Sarah and Lucas's plate, but they seem to perform well under pressure, so they should be okay.
You've raced many times with these electric powerboats. Different areas you go to around the world, do they behave very differently?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Me personally, Jeddah was always my best race. I would really dominate there. I was the fastest qualifier. I had some big race wins there, but and then I'd go to the next race and wouldn't be as fast. So I think there's definitely something to be said about the water conditions. Not just how wavy or rough it may be, but also just the overall consistency, the elevation, the current. There's so many different things that come into play. So I don't know if we've had a race bird in Angola yet to test those conditions. So for lack of a better word, our teams may be flying a little blind.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be exciting to see how it all comes together. And of course, Lake Como is another one that you did race at when it was the last race of the 2024 season. So we'll see them on the lake today. Different to being out on the sea, of course. You get a slightly different feel from the boat.
Yeah, absolutely. Lake Como is probably one of our sneakier locations. As you can see, it is so picturesque, but the water can be really deceiving. If you're checking out the screen right now, you can kind of see some of the ripples in the water. I can assure you those are a lot taller than they look. A great way to kind of distinguish how rough the water is looking at the launch zone. If the race birds are doing a lot of rock, can be pretty rough.
It can indeed. Well, it's good to see the boats are beginning to head out there now. We will be getting ready for this first race of the day in this beautiful weather at Lake Como in northern Italy. It really is a stunning place to be, and everybody's thoroughly enjoying it already, but we've only got through qualifying. There's plenty of racing to go. throughout here today. So we are getting all ready now for this second event of the UIM E1 World Championship, as we are preparing for the first race of the day, and they are beginning to set up their positions that they will be starting on this race. So we are looking at Aoki, for example, here. They're going to be in a very good position, having done well, not as good, because they had a really good time last time at Jeddah. Qualifying didn't go quite so well, but we shall see how it all comes together.
I think we drive well together. We're here for the same goal. We both want to win.
He's also fast, so I can learn a lot from him.
I don't think we're going to stop until we are winning. Boom!
One of the best race locations, Lake Como. Team Sierra is here to win. What's the game plan, Eric?
Yeah, I think the game plan is we start, get in the front, and finish in the front.
Yeah. Simple.
Simple.
Debrief over.
We just gotta jump in the boat and actually get racing.
For me, it's just learning as much as I can off with Timmy.
Team Miami here in Lake Como.
We're gonna send it. Watch out for us. We're here to win.
We've been training hard, preparing ourselves with the team.
It's head down, work our hardest, and do our best. This is Team Aoki Racing.
Lake Como.
Beware the dragon.
Team Rafa, I think it's all about commitment. We understand each other and we share the wins.
We are ready to fight, and we want only one thing, to get the win this weekend.
Vamos!
Great to see the pilots getting all ready. And of course, now they are getting ready as the teams are preparing to come out and do this first race of the day. Let's take a look at the grid lineup then for this first one. The teams involved: Alula, Sierra, Miami, Aoki, and Rafa. Rafa had a tough time yesterday. Whether they're going to have a good time this time, we shall wait and see. And then we shall see if it all allows them to come along. So we are now getting ready to determine each and all of these teams. So the Rafa team starting down in 5th place, and they finished 2nd at Lake Como in 2024.
This is the guy that everybody is scared of, but I have heard they're going to be in a spare boat today, which could cause trouble.
Well, hopefully they will do well. Aoki, owned by Steve Aoki. They've had 3 victories in their E1 times.
Sarah was big in her rookie season, but along with Rafa, they are also struggling with the boat today, so hopefully they can sort it out.
But they are leading the championship at the moment. Miami, owned by Mark Anthony, into their 3rd year as well. They've just had the 1 win.
Miami struggled with their boat a lot last season, but Timmy's been looking really fast, so hopefully that means they've sorted it out.
And that 1 win, of course, just means for the actual final, there can be wins before that, but it's the final that scores the points. Sierra, owned by 2 new owners, Thibaut Courtois and Kyle Kuzma, so this is new.
Katie has a big smile, but she is secretly a killer. She takes all that data and makes fast laps.
Alula, owned by LeBron James, into their 2nd year. No victories yet for this team.
Nerea is one of the newer pilots on the grid, but with Rusty Wyatt as a teammate, she's gotten a lot faster very quickly.
And starting from pole position for this one, so that's going to be good. So here we are looking at the layout of the track itself, and you can see the different colors putting out the slightly different points. We have the main lap, which is in white. In green, we have the long lap, which they will do 1 of, and then they will also have to do 1 short lap as well.
Yeah, the strategy is going to be everything today, but they also had to be mindful of the water conditions, which are going to be changing a lot with all of these leisure boats out on this lovely Saturday.
Yeah, just one version of all of these, but we shall see how it works, because when you are, as you say, following another boat, you can lose out. Sometimes if you do that short lap, it can certainly help. So we are getting ready for them to all get into position, but we are preparing for some fun and games. For the moment, let's go back down to Taylor Snyder.
Well, the story for this first race is going to be Team Rafa. The team was able to get the boat out this morning. They were having some problems yesterday, obviously being eliminated in that Q1 round, and it seems like the problems have followed them into race day. They tried to get it out this morning to see how it was feeling. They said the foil is working fine, but the balance is completely off, so it was running. And as we know, balance in foils is everything. So they were able to get in the championship boat. They're still going to be able to run in this round. However, they're not in their home boat. They have to learn new systems in there. They're working off new strategies to make sure that they can still be competitive. I have no doubt that the pilots, Tom and Chris, are going to be out there giving it their absolute all, but we're going to see how Team Rafa can pull it off today.
Well, thank you, Taylor. That's really interesting. And we can see the black colours. Obviously, they're in a different colour to what they would normally have been with their original boat. So this is going to be tough for them to sort of get a feel for it because they won't have been out in it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, coming into this moment, they've been in their boat this entire time. And not only does it take a toll on the mental knowing that you're not in your familiar boat, you know, it's also going to be really difficult to adapt on the fly. But if anybody can do it, it's definitely Tom Schiap. I'm sure, knowing him, he's feeling very frustrated right now. I'm curious to see what the cockpit cam is going to look like later on because he definitely wears his heart on his sleeve. But, you know, if I were them right now, I would be happy to be in a different boat because, you know, you never know, it could be a miracle.
Yeah, and Tom Schiap, you know, he's done 12 races. He's had a win in E1 times, or he's had more than one. He's had 3 E1 wins, in fact. And as he says in his, when he's described his personality, he's fast, aggressive, and unstoppable, and he will be pushing hard.
Yeah, you know, it's my heart really breaks for Team Rafa. You know, season 1, they struggled with the balance of the boat that they had. Season 2, they sorted the balance on that boat, and they were championship contenders. They had everybody in the paddock rattled, and then came Monaco, where we saw the massive racing incident that ultimately cost them their boat. Later, they were in a new boat, and they were, seems like now they're still back to square one, where they're struggling with the handling, possibly, you know, the engine itself. Hard to say, but that's why they're in this boat today. And I feel for them because that can't feel good. They know they're some of the fastest pilots on the grid. They know they're capable of winning. They were close to winning the championship last year, and the universe just isn't on their side.
No, absolutely. It's going to be a major challenge, but we shall see. The time is ticking away before we get this race underway. And of course, all the pilots who are sharing these boats are either watching or just keeping an eye on, or actually in the boat, of course, so getting ready for the start of this first race. There are 5 boats in each of these first 2 races. They will then go into the next stage with their other pilots, and then the results of that next race with the other pilots could determine whether they're going to make it to the final. If they don't initially, they will have another opportunity to do that. But they are just floating around a little bit at the moment. They will in a moment get into the start position, but for now they're just waiting to be told to do that.
Yeah, Lake Como's unique. This is a very narrow start, having the shoreline right here. So you can see the boats are already getting into place pretty early with a little under 1:30 left. So part of the reason why they head over early is they don't want to see someone else get into their space. You know, it's not like car racing or, you know, motorcycle racing where the gate is very definitive and physical. You know, you're floating around, you're drifting into your competition, and that can become a problem. So getting there early allows you to secure that space, get your elbows out, and make sure that nobody's going to infringe on your property. So that's part of why you see these guys getting ready right now.
So Aoki, it's Sarah Misa who's in the boat right now, and we shall see how she gets on with this. She'll be starting from 4th position. So position 1 is effectively pole position. It's the inside line. 4 and 5 are the further outer line. So you're looking nearest us now is the Team Rafa, the black boat. That is on the outside. Here are 2 new team owners, which is lovely to see because they're getting involved in all of this. Kyle Kuzma and Thibaut Courtois. But on board with Sierra, that's the team that they are now owning.
Yeah, as these pilots are queuing up, they're hearing from their engineer on where their placement is exactly, if they need to move over, if they need to move up. They're getting lined up. Looks like we're going to have a pretty even start. Doesn't look like anyone's going to try and take a running jump at it. Here's the final 10.
Remember, they can get going, but they have to cross the line as it goes to 0. If you cross the line before it goes to 0, then you get a penalty. But it's looking very, very good at the moment as Team Alula getting away well, and everybody's not a very good start down at the back though, so it's all happening. Alula up front at the moment.
Yeah, Alula had a really good spot on the gate. A lot of the other pilots stayed very wide, and I'm not sure if I was in that second place position, I would have been right on top of Alula. Safely, of course. Alula's got a huge gap right now, putting everybody else in the wash. It's looking good for them, and it's not looking so good for Timmy Hansen right now, who's stuck in the wash of Sarah Massera and Aoki.
Yeah, Blue rising down as well, struggling a little bit. Well, sorry, Team Alula doing a really, really good job at this stage, just making that break and trying to get away. Sierra in second, Rafa in third, Miami in fourth. It's Aoki down in fifth place. It's Aoki I was really thinking about down that far as well, because Aoki have been doing so well in this Jeddah at the previous one. How's this bouncing around looking?
This is what I was talking about earlier. This is probably a result of a lot. Oh, we're getting really tight right here. Sarah needs some room. Oh, she's still okay. All right, as you were saying earlier, the water is so rough right now. Look at these leisure boats in the background. That's going to cause so much chop for these guys. So Nerea is in a great position because she has that clean water. So to be honest with you, clean water is everything. It doesn't matter if you're the fastest pilot or the slowest pilot. It's going to allow you to get a huge advantage. So as you can see, she's taking full advantage of it right now, getting way out in front. And then we have Katie right behind. Katie has enough of a gap between her and Nerea that the water's still pretty clean. But Timmy, Sarah, Tom Schiap, they are in the thick of it, and you can tell.
It's interesting, yeah, they're pretty much in the order that they started, although Tom Schiap has managed to get past Sarah Misa, so he's up into fourth place with the Rafa.
So this is the first lap where they're allowed to start applying the strategy. So you can see Alula and Sierra are currently taking the regular race lap. Oh, actually, looks like Sierra might be going for the long lap right now. So taking the long lap early on means you won't have to worry about it later. And teams that are taking the long lap later, you're going to be able to pass them. So right now, the best way to judge is to look at the gap in front of you, the boat that you're following, or the gap of the boat behind you. And it's up to your engineer to help make that strategic decision for you.
Absolutely. Rafa also doing the short lap on this lap as well. So, of course, this changes positions as we go through, but then it'll change again at the end.
Exactly, yeah. You're seeing Timmy Hansen make the pass on Katie Munnings right now because she elected to take that long lap. But because Timmy hasn't taken the long lap yet, that may bite him later, and Katie may be able to get around him. Here's a tight merge right here. Tom just got around Katie as the two lanes merge.
Yeah, and that's a good effort that Tom's managed to do that, because start was not great, and of course he's trying to get used to this boat that he's not actually been in before, so it takes some control. Sierra currently running in that fourth position, Aoki in fifth, but remember they have done the long section, but so has Katie Munnings. Not all of them have done the long section yet, of course.
Yes, and Timmy has just taken a short lap, so that allowed him to get a lot of breathing room on both Tom and Katie, but now he can't take it later in case he gets into the weeds. So coming back to Tom Schiap, he's looking really good in this boat considering they've had no time in it. So hopefully that means that they can have a little bit of stability today. The boat looks really level. I can't quite tell if the boat is slower or faster than their usual boat, but it looks really level, and that's really critical. So we've got a penalty for Sierra. Oh dear. So what that means is they have to do another long lap, and that really does cost you. Yeah, so they're saying it was a lane infringement, which means on the start, Katie may have impeded on one of the drivers next to her, and one of those drivers called back to engineering and made some complaints. We'll have to check and see who it was. It was either Timmy or Nerea. My guess was Timmy, because Timmy was so far behind. That may explain why. That's too bad, because I know those guys are really close friends.
Yeah, that is a shame, but that's the way it goes quite often in this, because those starts are so important, but if you do push in a bit too much, it will get checked out, and if they feel you've done it wrong, you will get a penalty like an extra long lap. So out front, Nerea Marti leading with Alula, and this is looking very, very composed at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, this is great for her. I'm sure this will add a lot to her confidence. You know, being out front with this big gap, doing well, I think that's really going to add a lot to her confidence. They're looking really good. Okay, let's see. She's taken the short lap already, but she hasn't taken the long lap yet. So this could cause problems later as we get closer to the end of the race. But with the gap that she has right now, she should be okay.
Yeah, she should be okay. And if you're just watching this for the first time, seeing these electric powerboats up on the foil, really floating above, and we're just trying to get a feel for the lake and how rough it is. Miami now doing the long lap as well.
Yeah, so now Timmy has completed both his long and his short lap, while Nerea still has her long lap left. So Nerea really needs to focus on expanding that gap on Timmy as much as she possibly can, because it's probably going to come down to her taking the long lap very late in the race, where Timmy is going to try and take advantage of that. So we'll see what happens. The good news for Nerea is that Timmy's already taken his short lap, so he can't make a huge jump so long as she doesn't make any major mistakes.
And as a competitor yourself, when you've raced many of these before, when you go out onto the long lap, you're doing a slight section that you haven't done in qualifying, so you've just got to get a feel for it immediately, haven't you?
Typically, if we're lucky, we get to run it in practice, but it's still not something that we focus on because we're so focused on qualifying. With that said, when you're headed out to the long lap, it feels miles and miles away from the rest of the racetrack. The most critical part, though, is actually the merge. So as you can see where Aoki is and where Rafa is, if Rafa is a little bit closer, they may be merging side by side, and that's when you have to get your elbows out. See, we see right now these two boats together. There's too much of a gap for them to really have a battle, but there's a lot of battles that happen right there.
Aoki now on a short lap. And interestingly, Nerea Marti has not done her long lap yet, so she's going to do it on the last lap, isn't she?
Yeah, that's a pretty typical race strategy for a leader, just trying to keep the clean water as long as possible, extend that gap as much as you possibly can, because then when it comes down to the long lap, you're hopefully far enough ahead. So not really surprising to see that. She's doing a great job of extending the lead in the clean water. So I think they're on the right track.
They are. They're doing a great job, and hopefully as long as she can get that last long lap done right, she should be well ahead of Timmy Hansen for Miami. You can see how they use the boost, the electric boost this is that you see popping up.
I do want to note that both Katie and Tom Schiap have not taken their short lap yet, so that also could be another battle that we see towards the end. You know, they could take it on the same lap, but Rafa may be able to make up a lot of time by taking the short lap on the last lap.
Okay, well, that's going to be interesting. In the meantime, Nerea Marti is going to have to do the long lap now. Alula, you're looking at the race leader coming in to do the long lap, because as you can see, she has not done it yet, whereas everybody else has done it.
The gap is looking really good. It's really critical right here that her engineer reminds her to take the long lap. We've seen instances in the past where, you know, there's miscommunication across the team. So crossing our fingers right now that Nerea knows she needs to take that long lap. Here's her decision point. It looks like she's on track to take the long lap. So
yeah, she hasn't forgotten.
Good. As long as she stays on track here, she should stay in front of Timmy Hansen.
So Sierra on a short lap. Let's see what the gap is going to be, because it's around 20 seconds before she went on to the long lap. Normally long laps are about 15, maybe a bit more seconds, between 15 and 20 seconds. I think she will still have the edge, though. Let's keep an eye on this, though. So we are watching our race leader, Alula, on the long lap.
She's good.
Keeping an eye on Miami. She's well ahead, isn't she?
Yeah, she's got a huge gap right now. You know, I think Timmy will come in just right behind her, but she's got a huge gap right now. So as long as she stays nice and smooth right through here, she should be good.
This is the fun part, though, and you get to the end of a race and the leader goes for that late long lap, but as you can see, she is in front.
Timmy,
how much closer Timmy is, though?
Yeah, just like we thought, you know, Timmy was going to slot in right behind her, but he just didn't have enough of a closed gap to get ahead of her. But it was tight. I did notice that she was off the foils a little bit coming out of the long lap, which I think helped him gain a little bit. But as long as she stays right here and Timmy doesn't do anything crazy, I think she's got it.
This is impressive. This is good stuff from Nerea Marti in her first full year of E1. Her dad was a powerboat racer, and she's putting together a really good job here. Alula is going to be coming around this last corner, having kept enough of a gap over Miami. And
stuffed him right there. Gave him a little bit of wash so he couldn't get around her. Nice work.
Alula win with Nerea Marti taking the victory there. Miami in second place with Timmy Hansen. The gap only 1.8 seconds in the end, but she really held on that well. Now it's Aoki that are going to finish in third place, having started from P4 at the start of that grid. And Sarah Misa, she has brought it home nice and clearly. Sierra will finish in fourth place with Katie Munnings, and Katie missing out a little bit because she started P2. And then we have the Rafa team, who are running this spare boat for the first time, and Tom Schiap, who is very experienced, seems to be struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what would have happened had Katie not had to take that penalty lap. She was looking really good, but you know, coming back from a penalty lap is really hard, so we'll see what happens. And tough break for Rafa. You know, I'm sure Tom's frustrated right now, but his driving was still great, considering he's probably not happy with that boat.
It's a very good point about Katie Munnings, because 29 seconds behind, you could probably take nearly 20 seconds off that. She would have been in third, definitely. So you're right, they have good pace there. Unfortunate, but incidents at the beginning are always something that can be a little bit tricky. So well done. It was a tough one, but Katie Munning's going through that and getting the extra penalty. We've got a chance to speak to her. Katie, this is TV. That was a challenging start for you. I think she's actually chatting away to the team at the moment, so we may not quite get a word from her. Let's just try. So Katie, that looked like it was a very tricky start at time. This is TV.
Yeah, obviously it's hard at the start. We don't get the lanes mapped out in front of us, but obviously I got a penalty for being too far over, which is fair enough. So yeah, tricky when you have to do an extra long lap. So yeah, it's not ideal, but also at the same time, we didn't come in 5th place, so it makes it a little bit easier for Eric going into the next one on the grid positions. But yeah, it's a cool track here. I like the layout of the long and the short laps. Anything can happen in this race.
Great, thank you. Well, that's really good to know. And in fact, as you said, Anna, I think she had good pace there. It was just unfortunate that she got into that extra lap she had to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually a penalty lap is a killer, so she did great.
She did. So, well, we've got our first race of the day. Plenty more to come, of course. Race 1, Group A results. Alula with Nerea Marti taking the win from Miami in 2nd place. The gap 1.8 seconds. Aoki in 3rd. Sierra with the penalty finishing in 4th place. And then Rafa, they are struggling a bit, of course, in a different boat, a spare boat, because yesterday their boat had a major problem. So a real shame for them.
Down here on the launch zone after that finish, Nerea, I spoke to you before the race. All smiles you are. You got that clean water and you pulled off the win, putting Rusty in a great position for his next race. Congrats.
Yeah, really happy. First P1 for me, so really happy. And then we did a really good start. We could stay P1 all the race. At the end was super tight with Timmy when I did in the last lap, the long lap. But yeah, it was good. I'm happy and good stuff for us in the next race. So let's go for it.
Rusty will definitely be excited to get out there. And I wonder if Miami will still be the top competitor coming in this next race, or who else do you think is strong in your group?
Yeah, I would say Timmy was the strongest in this group. Yeah.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So that is a very good first race. Let's take a look at the highlights of that first race, Anna. And as a racer...
So as you can see right here, we got Katie in lane 2. She's kind of going towards the beach here. And I would guess that it was Team Miami that said something to her. You can see her kind of correct herself there, but definitely ruined Timmy's start. Pushed Sarah over as well. So that's a bummer. You know, it's hard to say if that was steering or if maybe she was trying to navigate these rollers that we've been talking about all day. But you can see she moved over a little bit and gave Timmy some of her wash. And just not a good look, unfortunately for her. But it sounded like she owned up to it. She took the penalty and she did great.
Yeah, fair enough. And once you can understand that being done. And then some great onboard shots.
You can see here, Timmy, the nicest guy in the pits, getting super aggressive. He practically pushes Sarah into that smart mark right there, gives her nowhere to go. Thankfully, she was able to dodge the smart mark and keep things moving forward. But Timmy is definitely feeling aggressive today.
Definitely. And then more action. The conditions obviously pretty good, but when you're following another boat, this was the final corner, and it was close between the top two, but in the end, it was a very, very good win by Nerea Marti, who did all correctly in that for Alula.
Yeah, this move she did right here was really a kicker for me. You know, seeing her come across the bow of Miami there and making sure they had no clean water to try and drag racer to the finish. That's how you seal the deal.
So well done, Nerea Marti taking that victory, the 24-year-old Spanish pilot, and she's been karting since she was 13 years old. She's raced in the W Series and at F1 Academy, but now she's enjoying the E1 Powerboat World Championship, and that's a very good start to the day for her. So, first race done. We are getting ready for the second race to get underway very soon here at Lake Como, as we are looking through the second championship battle going on at one of these wonderful venues. E1 has not been here for 2 years because they were here at the end of their 2024 season. but it's already showing some good racing and opportunities to catch up with them down there. Let's go and join our presenter, Taylor.
Well, I found Timmy Hansen, and that was a sporty race out there. Obviously, you were all calm and excited before the race, and then you got out there and showed no mercy. Talk about that Sierra incident, Sierra in Miami.
Was there an incident? Really?
He was just out there running. Let's talk about the finish then. Let's talk about the finish. You came so close. How does it feel to just be right there? What kind of pressure do you need to put on yourself as well as the boat in front of you?
Yeah, I tried to put all the pressure I could. We had a horrible start. I came out last, and there was actually some nice battles, some nice overtakes during that run, but Nerea just got a big head start. When I was battling at the start of the race, I tried my best to chase her down. It was close at the end, but she held on. She did a great job. It was a nice battle, so I think I'm happy with P2. Now it's Rihanna's turn to jump in the boat.
You definitely gave her a great starting position. Who is going to be her top competitor in this next round?
It's tough, but you know, Alula, they took pole position yesterday. They won the first race of the day, so they're looking really strong. Both of them are going really fast, and yeah, Rusty up next.
All right, thank you, Timmy.
Thank you.
Well, it's been fascinating to see how that first race has gone, but we've got plenty more to come, of course. We are enjoying all of the racing that's taking place here at Lake Como, and they're building up now for the second race, which will be coming up very, very soon for more action out here. The glorious conditions of the Lake Como GP in 2026, and we are in the group stages as everybody is trying to establish their pace and get into good positions later on today when we get into the all-important finals, when the points will be on offer. We've had a good first race. We're now getting ready for the second group of 5 to get them out there, and some of the top teams again will be competing. Some of them have had great success in the past. Can they make it all come together this time at Lake Como? Let's see how this all comes. So this is how they are going to be lining up for this. We've got Westbrook on the pole position, Monaco, Team Monaco, first year for Team Monaco. They're starting from P2, Drogba starting from P3. Brady, the team that has been so successful in E1 for the last 2 years, starting in 4th place. And Blue Rising, who had some technical problems yesterday, they will be starting from P5, but they may well come back from that in a very, very good place. So, John Peters, Team Blue Rising, John Peters, he's going to be out there, and it's going to be a tough time.
They struggled with the boat yesterday. I spoke with John. He was not happy. If this boat is running, we're going to see angry John today, which is going to be a danger to everyone on the track.
So, Team Brady, that's the next one. They have had so much success in E1 up to now, but can they make it work today?
Emma's consistently one of the biggest threats on the track. Consistent race winner, consistent fastest qualifier. If they got that instability issue sorted, Emma could be a threat here.
Next up on their P3 is Drogba, owned by Didier Drogba, and a team that has never had a victory in the final.
Micah's flying lap yesterday was incredible. If he can get comfortable on the racetrack today, he's going to be tough to beat.
Team Monaco, first year for Monaco, but let's see, they've qualified well here, starting from P2 for this race.
Max started off a little bit slow yesterday, but he rallied and had some really impressive speed, so I think he's going to be a little bit of a sleeper today, honestly.
And starting from P1, it is Westbrook Racing and the team owned by Will Smith, and the second fastest qualifying here at a track they've won in the past.
Lucas is one of the most consistent on the track. You really got to keep an eye out for him.
So, just confirming the map that we are seeing, the main course plus the long lap and the short lap, and they will have to do one of each of those.
Yeah, the most important points on the track are going to be the merges between the laps. It's also going to be at the top side of the track. We're looking at it right now. The pilots are going to be headed straight into those leisure boat rollers, and we've seen a lot of boats coming off the foils there, lots of instability, and that's where the start's going to get really mixed up. On this side of the track, they're going to be headed into the face of the waves where they have a similar problem. So we've seen a lot of instability, lots of people catching up through these areas. So I think it's going to make it really interesting.
It should be fun, and we've got some top racers in this, of course. We shall see how they manage to deal with it all. They are now getting into position. So it is Westbrook with Lucas Ordóñez, who is going to be starting from P1. But as you said, John Peters for Team Blue Rising. That's going to be interesting.
You can see Brady, Emma Kymäläinen kind of lagging at the back. She may be looking to make a running start at it. So we'll see how this goes. Westbrook's already slowed up. Let's see what happens. 10 to go.
They're beginning to get going. They're thinking about when do I go. The clock ticking away. You've got to get across the line at the right moment. You can see the start line. It's gone to 0, so nobody's cheated. And it's a good start. All right again.
This is really close.
Yeah, Westbrook initially actually just getting that pace from P1. And of course, having that inside line can be a little bit of an advantage going into the first section. Lucas Ordóñez doing a good job.
This is good. Everyone's stable.
Yeah, but it is...
Oh, here comes Emma Kymäläinen.
Wow, this is all getting a bit tight suddenly. Yeah, Emma Kymäläinen. Oh, don't touch. They
contact. Oh, contact.
With Westbrook.
Lucas stays on track.
They're both okay at the moment, I think, by the looks of things. But that wasn't ideal. But remember, Brady, of course, great team. Emma Kymäläinen has had some great success.
You can see some damage on the foil, the top of the foil there. That could cause some instability issues for Lucas. But I don't know, I may chalk that up to rubbing his racing. We'll see in the replay. But Emma Kymäläinen is not playing around. She's already moved up to the front.
She has. So Team Brady have gone in front with Westbrook that started from that P1 into second place. Blue Rising have come up well.
This is not the first time that we have seen Team Brady and Team Westbrook beefing on the racetrack, so I have a feeling Lucas is not happy right now. I hope we can see the cockpit replay there. That just cost him the lead.
Do you think there could be a penalty coming from this?
We'll wait to see. I'm sure Westbrook is looking into their options to see if they can protest right now. I'm sure Lucas immediately called it out, but we'll have to see the replay, but that could have just been a little rubbing his racing incident, a little kiss from Emma Kymäläinen.
Emma Kymäläinen, double champion with this team, and they've got a penalty. You're right, she's got a long lap penalty, so she's really going to have to go for it now. And as you said, it did look as though it was impossible.
Ooh, yep. Jump start to Brady. Not actually the racing incident. Maybe they'll get 2, who knows. So that means that Emma Kymäläinen charged the start a little bit too hard, and now she has to take the long lap 2 times in this race. So, miracle for Lucas Ordóñez. We'll see what happens, but I want to talk about John Peters. After yesterday, he was not happy, and he is ready to go right now. He's headed to the long lap right now, which might be a good strategy for later.
Yeah, it might well be for John Peters. Such experience that he has onto the long lap, whereas Brady doing, Emma Kymäläinen doing the short lap, but as we know, she now has an extra long lap that she has to do.
So I want to talk right now. You can see Drogba and TBR visually look like they're very close together, but you'll be able to tell the distance of the long lap right now as you see Drogba pull ahead of John Peters right now.
Okay, well let's see how this goes. Emma Kymäläinen.
We might have a merge here between Monaco and Blue Rising. Let's see.
Absolutely.
Peters fell off the foil a little bit. That's not helpful for him.
Not ideal, but we shall see how Brady deal with having to do with the extra long lap that she will have.
My guess is we're going to see Emma take that long lap right now. Let's see what she does. She does have Lucas right behind her.
So is she going on to a long lap this time? Because when they have to do 2 of them, yeah, I think she's staying out wide.
Looks like she's drifting to the left a little bit. I think she's going to take the race lap. Brady long lap, there they go.
Yeah, so she is on the long lap, but she's going to have to do this twice, whereas everybody else just has to do it once, and she's got that penalty. And of course, she went across the start line just before we got to 0 on the timer.
I have seen the long lap double penalty still result in a good position. We saw that with Katie earlier, so it's not to say that Brady can't still do well, but it may mean the wind's out of their hands.
Monaco coming under pressure from Drogba.
From Micah, moving over the waves like that can be really difficult, getting out from the prop wash and deciding to take the race lap at the last second. They're very good move by him.
So this means that Lucas Ordóñez is now the leader, having done the short lap, but obviously hasn't done the long lap yet. But remember that Emma Kymäläinen, now in second place, has to do the long lap again. But, so Monaco's done the long lap already, I see. And as you said, John Peters, he went out early from the back. So right down at the back at the moment, although he's just coming back ahead of Monaco. So Maxime Nosher just trying to keep it all together at this stage.
Yeah, it looks like John Peters might be saving his short lap here until the very end, which is honestly a pretty smart move. Could help him make some passes at the end.
We're on to lap 4 out of 6 right now. Westbrook looking good from that starting position, particularly with Emma Kymäläinen now going to have to do the long lap another time. The gap between Westbrook and Drogba, 4.3 seconds, and they've both done similar so far. It's not a massive gap, but I'm not sure that Michael Wilkinson is actually closing that gap. Brady onto that second long lap now.
Yeah, so Micah from Team Drogba has not taken his long lap yet, and Brady is taking it now, so that may be to the disadvantage of Drogba. We'll see on the next lap and the following if that is going to make a difference, but I think Drogba might have needed to take it earlier.
Okay, interesting to see. Yeah, that will be interesting to see, because Emma may still be able to get second place, whether she can do that. We're watching Blue Rising doing the short lap now, so John Peters doing, I think, he's actually on the standard
that's the regular
lap. Sorry, he's on the
line.
regular lap. Yeah,
I think he might be holding out on the short lap. It doesn't really make sense for him to take it now.
Right, yeah.
Because he doesn't have the gap that he needs on Brady, but he may just be saving it for the very last lap. That's when you get the drama, and we love to see it.
Yeah, that's always good fun then, obviously. So Westbrook looking in good shape. Lucas Ordonez with that gap at the moment of just over 5 seconds.
I will say, although they had their issues on the start, Brady is looking so much better than they did yesterday. So I think that they may be at a good point today. And don't forget, this race is all about gate position. So although Brady is struggling right now, Sam could still do well in the next race. Peters has taken a short lap now instead of electing to take it on the last lap. So he has gotten in front of Emma Kimi-Leinen.
Okay, so now everybody trying to get through it all. Drogba going onto the long lap now, and Westbrook has not yet done the long lap, so that will be the last lap that they will go for that. So that will give us a little bit of, it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, with Drogba taking the long lap now and Westbrook not taking it yet, I'm hoping to see some action in this merge area between the long lap and the race lap between those two, because I know after earlier, Lucas is probably feeling pretty wound up right now, and he's not going to take being pushed around. So we'll see if Drogba has enough has closed the gap enough on them to make for that. But here comes John Peters on the race line, getting around Drogba, using the boost. Man, I thought that Micah was going to pull that one out. So John Peters going from virtually last all the way up to second after not even making it through qualifying today. Like I said, when you make John Peters mad, it's going to make for a good race.
This is really interesting too, because Emma Kimi-Leinen has now been pushed down to 4th, and you're riding on board with her, having started so rapidly but then getting the penalty, and she is putting Drogba under a lot of pressure. We've got one more lap to go, so can she find a way to get into 3rd place?
Yeah, you could see her kind of trying to bully Micah a little bit, but he had the line, so she didn't really have much space, and then she fell off the foil. But it's looking like Lucas has the gap that he needs to take this all the way to the finish. I was thinking it was going to be a drag race with Micah to the finish, but it looks like John's the one that's actually trailing Lucas right now, but I just don't think John's going to be able to catch up enough, but he will close the gap.
Yeah, well, Lucas doing a great job out in front. I think as you say, even though he's doing the long lap now, I think he will be reasonably comfortable. Peters is, as you say, that gap, it's going to be reasonably close, but Lucas Ordonez trying to keep it all under control. Now, is Emma Kimi-Leinen getting any closer to Michael Wilkinson? She's not actually closing that gap up much now.
Yeah, earlier on the other side of the track, she was closer, so I think Drogba's in a good position right now. We've got John Peters catching on Westbrook.
Yeah.
We need to see Westbrook stay on the foils right here, or John will push them into that buoy.
This is close, so you're on board with the race leader. He cuts just back in front of John Peters.
John's going for the gap.
Right, is this going to work? Slightly different approach into this final stage. We are on the last lap. They're coming into the last turn section, and they're almost going side by side.
Keep it tight. John does not play around.
This is where Westbrook just has to control it. Lucas Ordonez
may try to cut underneath Lucas's wing right here.
Is there a way?
He's got to keep it tight. There it is.
Yeah, good plan. But we are coming up to the line now, and at the moment it looks good that Westbrook are going to hold on to it. Yes, Westbrook take the victory. Lucas Ordonez finishes first for Westbrook. John Peters finishes second for Blue Rising, and that was impressive what Blue Rising have done. They had a tough day yesterday. Drogba finishing in 3rd with Michael Wilkinson, holding off Emma Kimi-Leinen, who had that extra penalty. She ends up finishing in 4th place. And it's sad to see Monaco down in 5th place, because they were doing a really good job yesterday in qualifying, but way down, Maxime Nosha has not had a good run.
Yeah, that may just be a result of not having the race start experience. So, he was looking pretty good, and then he kind of got into the weeds with the other boats. So that's going to come with time. Hopefully they're not struggling with the boat, and that was just a result of a little bit of inexperience.
Yeah, Max Nosha, the 31-year-old French pilot, into his first season of E1, having been a kite surfer, 11-time world champion in kite foil, been in the Olympics in the sailing team, but this has not quite gone for Max Noscher here. Monaco only just crossing the line in 5th place. Now, that doesn't mean they're out or anything yet, because, of course, the other pilot will have to take it on for the next race, but it does put you into a bit more of a dangerous patch that if you don't get through, if you end up last in the next race as well, then you may well be never making it to the final.
Yeah, the good news is he has Oban Duncan as a co-pilot, so she is no stranger to dogfighting. I've actually been in a couple battles with her myself, and starting from the outside shouldn't really be an issue for her.
Well, entertaining race, and well done to Westbrook Racing and Lucas Ordóñez just holding it all together, doing a good job. It was a bit dramatic at the beginning with Emma Kymäläinen doing that very good start, but it was too good a start. She got a penalty.
Let's see his reaction as he climbs out of the boat here.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the actual start of this, because it's intriguing to see that Emma Kymäläinen did definitely cross the line just before we went to 0.
This start was a lot better than the one we saw earlier. Everyone's holding their line very well, but you'll see Emma stays really wide, and I think the strategy here was to stay wide and then sweep it. And what she probably didn't expect was for Lucas to maintain his line all the way around that corner. So you'll see right about here, she starts coming in tighter, 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 and then as they go to make the corner, Lucas doesn't turn as tight, and that is where those two boats ended up kissing. But the good news is they just bumped, so they were able to finish the race.
They were. That was good news, thankfully. And as you said, it looked like there was some damage, but it didn't seem to slow the boat down at all. So that was good news.
Yeah, you know, I'd call that one a racing incident as much as it does suck for Lucas. That was just everybody holding their lines and being aggressive.
Well, there we go. Team Brady, they've got a bit of work still to do. It's always been a very successful time for them in the UIM E1 World Championship, having taken the titles both in 24 and 25, but they've clearly got more and more battles going on, but they are very competitive, and they will, I'm sure, deliver some great stuff. But Team Monaco, not quite such a good one for them, but we shall see how it all goes. For Team Westbrook, taking the victory in that, and an opportunity for us to catch up and find out more with Taylor.
What a race that was. Lucas Ordóñez, wow, the start. Obviously, you and Team Brady getting into it. How did that feel to be in the pilot seat?
Yeah, well, it's tough, no, to nail and to do a good start now is very, very tricky now. Everyone is doing great starts, and yeah, every little detail counts, and then I fall a little bit from the foils at the end of the straight, and then I give some room to Brady to come into the outside, but then we hit each other. I did the turn, but suddenly they tried to do into the buoy, so there's only one space for one racebird, but yeah, happy with the win. They got a penalty, I think, because of start, and yeah, happy how we end up. Everything is really close now, and yeah, after the contact I was struggling with the handling, so maybe we have some issue on the right hand side foil, but yeah, so far so good.
It didn't seem to affect you. Obviously you came out with that win. What does this mean for the team? How quickly can you get that repaired, or does that affect Sarah's next turn in the boat?
Yeah, I don't know, you know, the guys are checking. It looks like it's on, you know, the damage is on the top of the foil, so it shouldn't affect the performance much, but mentally, you know, and you once you hit to someone, you think someone on the trim is not working well, and then you start to work on your head, but yeah, I try to do my race after that and get the cleanest as possible water, and yeah, that's it. So P1 now, Sarah will start first in her heat, which is the one it counts. If she wins, we go straight to the final, so that's the target.
Excellent. Well, Beth, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It certainly does put them in good position moving forward as we go through the rest of the day, if you can maintain that. So Westbrook taking the victory in that with Lucas Ordóñez. Second place to Blue Rising, who've done really well, having a horrible time yesterday. John Peters finishing in second place. Drogba in third with Michael Wilkinson. Brady with the penalty. Emma Kymäläinen finishing in fourth place. And Team Monaco right down at the back with Max Noscher. So Oban Duncan, she's going to have some work to do in the next race, and see whether they can get themselves into a better position. So let's take a little look back at some of the highlights. That start area,
This is what I was talking about right here. Emma is one of the nicest people in the paddock, but she is a bully on the racetrack. She just did not give up that line, and Lucas kind of drifted out past that buoy, so I'd call that a racing incident. The good news is they were both able to continue on, and Lucas was able to take the win after that, so good for both of them. Here you can see on that start, that is the jump start that they were talking about, but here's the tap, wait for it, right there.
Oh, quite a
Ooh, you can
contact.
see the cowling on Emma's boat get a little bit loose. It's a good thing that didn't break off. She was able to finish the race.
Yeah, quite a big hit, really. But Anna, when you've been competing in these and you get a contact like that, how does it feel from the pilot's point of view?
You know, it's a little bumpy, but all you can really do is drive out of it. What's really impressive is that Drogba managed to stay out of that mess. You know, he was in a perfect position to turn into a sandwich, and Micah was able to navigate out of that.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. And then there was this combination again with the different laps they were taking, brings you a chance to get close.
Good move by Micah there, kind of moving his prop wash right over the front of Emma's boat, so she kind of slowed up a little bit and then swinging back towards the track. So a little serpentine action there kind of messed up Emma's line.
Yeah, and I thought Emma would close up a little bit more, but in the end weren't quite able to.
This is the guy to watch, John Peters. You do not want to provoke this guy, man. He will take you out. You can see here he opens his line up and goes wide, and then in the very last corner he tries to cut in behind Westbrook here, and that is, it's a little bit risky because of the lengthy nose on the boat, but that's what you got to do. But thankfully Lucas was smart here. He cuts back over, gives John some prop wash and slows him down.
Lucas Ordonez is doing it really well, managing it, knowing how to deal with that situation, and did it perfectly. So Lucas Ordonez taking the win for Westbrook Racing, giving themselves the pole position for the next important race. And then, as they say, hopefully they can then make them get to the final without any other troubles. Great racing here at Lake Como. So we are thoroughly enjoying all the action that has been going here. It's been very good for Team Blue Rising, starting P5, but getting a great result just there. Let's go and join Taylor.
Down here with Team Blue Rising, John Peters, what a monster. You were out there. I really thought you were going for it right at the end there. How was your race?
You know, it was nice. We were hoping for 5 to 3. That's where we ended up, so we +1 on that, so we feel good. Setting Michelle up for the next heat, so we feel good about that.
You definitely did. I haven't spoken to you yet. It's great to have you back. What are your expectations getting in this boat, and who are you going after for this next round?
Well, I'm not going after anyone. We're just pushing because yesterday we had really difficulties with the boat, and I was pretty impressed with JP going from lane 5 till 2. That was pretty impressive. And now my job is to go there and give exactly what JP gave, you know, and see what happens.
It's definitely going to be quite a race. Obviously, King of Starts, what does it take to get out in front? Obviously, we can't see what you guys can see in terms of the wave and the water conditions. How does that affect things?
It is probably the biggest player is the climate here. The water, the waves. It's not like a bathtub chop. It is more of a wavy chop, and so that's included in the bathtub chop, so you can't have any kind of consistency. So it makes it very, very difficult.
All right, well, best of luck in this next race.
Thank you.
So great to hear, and obviously lots to look forward to going forwards into this, but that was definitely a big bonus after that difficult day yesterday.
Yeah, you know, I think that we're going to see something from John later in the day that'll be exciting. You know, he's a loose cannon, I would say.
Well, lots more racing still to come. Lots of action here. So, Lake Como GP of 2026. We have seen some good first races already, but there's plenty more to go. Sarah Nisa, who has certainly been a part of all the action. We shall see how she gets on as we go through the rest of this next session. We're getting ready for race 3 of Group A, and the likes of the teams Alula, Miami, Aoki, Sierra and Rafa. Some of those teams have been going well, others have got a bit of work to do.
Yeah, if you look at the shot of Alula right now, this big box that they have on the nose of the boat here is actually like an air conditioning unit. The teams have got really creative with coming up with some homemade cooling devices. So that one is, that's what Alula came up with.
Well, we shall see how they get on with it. It's going to be an interesting one, but it's a little bit of time
You can see
everybody gets out.
You can see Shiap here. He's actually talking to his father right now, who's his spotter. And little known fact that Mr. Shiap here is a powerboat F1 world champion. So these guys have a long heritage of being powerful powerboat drivers. So having his father's experience, I think, has helped the team a lot. He's a great spotter. I've seen him in action. He's the guy that's being sneaky, covering his mouth. They have a lot of power behind them.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be seen. The teams, of course, working hard in the mission control, trying to make sure that they can all work out the best things to set these boats up with. That is the boat that is a bit of an unusual one for Team Rafa, because they haven't run this one before.
Yeah, Team Rafa, struggling with the boat this race and also in the last race. They've kind of exhausted all their options. So now that they've been given this loaner from the series to see if they can make things work. So, Tom looked really strong in the last race, but the boat just didn't really seem to have the pace. So hopefully he's taken some of that information and given it back to Christina.
And for Sierra, it'll be Eric Stark who does this next one. And we shall see how they get on. The Sierra Club, they have had they haven't had a win yet, but it is first year for them in E1. They had a 5th overall in Jeddah, so that was actually very good for them to start. Eric Stark has got a lot of boating experience, of course.
Yeah, so you just saw him a moment ago, but these guys that are hanging out at the opening of the cockpit here are actually from Victory Team, which is one of the most historic, winningest powerboat teams in the world. They compete in all kinds of powerboat, watercraft racing. Eric was formerly an F1 powerboat driver for them. So these guys, starting out with a brand new team, I don't think there's any better way to do it than to hire a strong foundation. And these guys, they have so much knowledge in powerboat handling, propellers, everything that's needed to be successful. Spotting, everything is pretty much, turnkey setup. So I think Sierra made the right move bringing those guys into the team. And, Eric's already very familiar with them, so that may be part of the team's early success.
Absolutely, and he's experienced in E1. It's his third season, had a win at Marbella, and he was voted Driver of the Year, actually, in 2024, wasn't he?
Yeah, and there's Emma there. She's still smiling considering what happened. She's one of the feistiest competitors on the track. Team Brady definitely known for pushing the boundaries, trying to look at every single option. So it doesn't shock me that they jumped the start there, because they're pushing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense. You've got to go for it. And the Brady team, having twice won the champions at the water, of course, we shall see whether they're going to be able to continue. Yes, it was challenging, but there's more to come.
Yeah, just to comment on the ferocity of Team Brady here. So you see all of the different teams with their computers. Brady is the only one with these big boxes that are blocking all of their data from everybody else. So, from the very beginning, season 1, these guys just came in so serious. And obviously it's paid off with those 2 world championships. So I just love to see it. Brady takes things so seriously. Not that any of the teams aren't, but you can just see they have this big box to guard those computer screens from any data that they might have, whether it's just times or top secret information, but they're the only ones that have that set up.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful that they do that. And I can totally understand why they want to keep it all nice and quiet. There we are, looking at the Team Brady boat, and whether they're going to be able to make this all come together. I think they always have that potential, there's no doubt. They always have tremendous potential, and we shall see. They are currently 2nd overall, having finished 2nd in Jeddah last time.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not happy about that penalty, but considering where they were yesterday, where, they said, I think I heard Sam say that the boat was nearly undrivable yesterday. Emma just came out with a screaming start, really fast pace. Clearly overnight they sorted something out. So although that penalty was a bummer, it sounds like the boat's a lot better than it was yesterday, which gives them the tools that they need to be successful. So if they just reel in their aggression on the start a little bit, it should be looking like a good day for them.
It should indeed. We shall see how it all comes together for them. Emma Kimalainen, who is a 36-year-old from Finland, and as she puts it herself, she's positive, enthusiastic, and determined, and that's true.
Also important to note that yesterday was Sam Coleman's birthday, so a big happy birthday to the tallest guy in the paddock, Sam Coleman.
Oh, that's good news, yes. Well done to Sam Coleman, and happy birthday from him. Tom Brady is team owner for the Brady team, and they've had so much good success over the last couple of years. Are they going to be able to keep it all together for this one? Of course, football quarterback star himself. But Aoki team, they are the ones that certainly started this season off very well. It's been a bit of a strange one for them.
Yeah, it's hard to say. You know, looking back at the footage from Jeddah, Sarah was complaining about the boat being very unstable. So I'm not sure if the issues that they're having today are carryover from Jeddah and they just managed to fight through it, or if these are new issues. So, you know, they didn't look terrible in the previous race. I think they had some issues on the start that made things difficult for them. So I'm curious to see what happens when Danny is in the boat, if they've made any improvements overnight.
Lovely livery. Beware of the dragon. That's all part and parcel of Aoki.
Yeah, so a little known fact, the Aoki racing team already has roots in powerboating. Steve Aoki's father was a very famous offshore powerboat racer, very involved. So it's very cool to see these guys involved in a new form of powerboat racing with E1.
Yeah, and remember, they are leading the points at the moment by 7 over Brady currently after that first event in Jeddah. So today, another chance to try and open up on that, build up the lead.
Yeah, and you know, with Danny, he's been no stranger to, you know, difficulties. His first season, he was with a team that was really struggling structurally, and then also with some technical issues with their boat. So I'm excited to see him move through this.
Well, we've seen all the teams working hard down there in mission control. Lots to plan. Taylor has gone down there to see who she can catch up with.
Down here in Mission Control, I made the trek over here, and I want to talk to you, Barney, Team Alula. Where are you finding your speed? It's quite the turnaround. You guys are really having a great race day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had a bit of a compromised practice session, so we missed a couple of sessions, didn't get too many chances to practice the start. But yeah, just analyse the data we did have, put it all together, and like I told you in Jeddah, it's all about that run to the first pin. And from there, we just managed to control it, so all good.
It absolutely is, and you guys are tracking a lot of fun things. I wish the viewer could see what all the data that you guys get to track during the day. What do you think is the most important to look at, but then to communicate to the pilots?
Yeah, it's about, like, as you say, there's so much information here. We just need to, like, give them the one piece that's the bit that makes the difference. So just filtering all this and then giving them the message is that's what we try and do here.
And Jasmine, I'll have a quick word with you as well. What is it like working as a team? There's quite a few members that go through everything. What are the different roles? How do they help each other out?
Yeah, I guess it's a blessing to work with these kind of individuals. They're really professionals on their field. Each of us have our own strengths. We have strategic part and the mechanics who have done a really good job all these years. And then, of course, spotter role that is important, the eyes and ears for the pilots. And we try to put it together, also the pack team, the media content, everything. And I feel we're like a big, happy family.
Wonderful. Best of luck, Alula.
Well, there we are, getting all set for the action to take place very soon, and we can start to put together the plan for this next race. Let's take a look at the grid then. Alula starting from P1 with Rusty Wyatt, Miami from P2, Aoki from P3, then Sierra in P4, and Rafa, who are having a bit of a tough time, starting from P5. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge for them, but let's see what they can achieve. So Team Rafa, they're on this other boat, spare boat. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, Chris is very feisty, but you know, she's really going to have to keep her head cool as they navigate this issue with this other boat. But if she can, she's a very strong pilot.
Sierra team, they're starting from P4. And we shall see how Eric Stark gets on with them.
Yeah, you know, Eric's used to being in pole position quite a bit in powerboating, so I'm curious to see how he does further over in the gate, but if anybody can figure it out, it's him.
The Aoki team currently leading the championship at the moment. What can they do? Can he get another victory?
Yeah, after their trouble yesterday, I'm really hoping that we're going to see the Dragon's Claws come back out today and see what Danny can do from that position.
And Team Miami with Rihanna O'Meara Hunt for this one. This, of course, is important too.
Yeah, you know, it's been really clear that Miami's been struggling with the boat for a long time now, but with Timmy's pace, I think they've got that sorted out, so we'll see what she can do.
Yeah, Timmy Hansen finishing in second in that last race. And Alula, Team Alula then starting from P1, the victory with Nerea Marti, and now it's Rusty's time.
Yeah, this is the guy we're going to want to keep an eye on in this race. If he gets a good clean start, he's going to be very difficult to catch. I would love to see a battle between Rusty and Eric Stark.
So there we are, and looking at the live map once again, the lap length of just over 1,400 meters. You have to do the one long lap with that extended distance of around 17, 18 seconds longer, and then the short lap.
Something that I've noticed, I think the start turn is going to be very aggressive, like we saw with Brady. Just the sweeping angle of that, I think, is going to lead to some other contact later on. Other exciting points we can talk about, the merges are going to be a lot of dicey racing, and we've seen a lot of interesting stuff going on in the final corner as well. We've seen a couple close calls there, so you know, these pilots are definitely going for it, and I'm excited to see this race especially.
It is an important one. 6 laps, 1 short lap, 1 long lap, as long as there's no penalties. But the winner of this race will automatically go through to the finals. And that is a big thing. If you get the victory in this race, it gets you out of the other support races coming up. So winning this one really makes a big difference.
You can already see Eric Stark is way back on the starting grid, so I'm guessing that means he's going to try and take a running start at it. Let's see what he does.
Okay.
Yep, there he goes.
Going for it already now as everybody tries to put it all together. Rafa on the inside there. Alula, let's see how Rusty Wyatt goes.
That looked like a clean start to me. We'll have to see if there was a penalty for Rusty, who was way out in front, but from where I'm sitting, it looked really clean. Big start for Rusty Wyatt.
Absolutely, excellent start for Rusty Wyatt, getting it off
right
really
here.
well.
Here it is. They're closing the gap. Danny very aggressive right there.
Yeah, Danny Claus with the Aoki.
Don't forget about Eric Stark on the outside. This is going to be tight as they come into the corner.
Yeah, this is very, very tight. How can they get around without actually hitting each other? We're having a quick, lovely onboard view, trying to see where the space is. But Aoki, missing out a little bit.
They've got a Danny Close sandwich back there, but Danny made the right move, cutting underneath Rusty here to get some clean water.
Yeah, that's into clean water, as you say. You can see the speed that gives you.
And Danny has the line coming into the next smart mark. If he pushes Rusty, he could take away his line.
Danny Kloss has run a real chance to take the victory here. Oh, well, not the victory, but the lead of this race.
Danny's got the line now. Let's see if Rusty tries to cut him off here.
Well, let's see. On the inside, is it an opportunity to cut in? But I think
we could have some contact here if they're close enough.
Yeah, it's not quite. Rusty Wyatt is able to just nip in front. No doubt about it from Danny Kloss. Eric Stark in 3rd place. Miami's Rihanna O'Meara Hunt is in 4th place. And once again, the Rafa is struggling.
Yeah, as those 3 boats came together at that second corner, Aoki had the right move cutting underneath Rusty into the clean water, and Eric just went too wide. So Aoki really made the right move here. They're staying tight on Rusty.
So this is going well for Alula. They took the victory in the previous race, and if they get the win in this one, they will go directly through to the finals. You've got a good battle going on for 2nd place now. Aoki versus Sierra. Danny Kloss is going to have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Eric's going to take the long lap now, seeing as he's very close to Aoki, or if he tries to battle.
Yeah, which way is...
Oh, he's going to go for it. Let's see.
Okay, battle on, not going for a different lap, which is an option, of course. But once you're following... Oh,
there
Alula.
it is, a jump stop penalty for Alula. That's really unfortunate for Rusty Wyatt.
So for our race leader, there is a penalty to do an extra long lap, and the chances that then winning this race are pretty much gone. So that means that Aoki, Sierra are both battling for that all-important potential victory here, because that will get you to the final.
It's not to say that their chances are gone. They're just very
not completely.
difficult. If Rusty gets super far ahead, he could still potentially maintain it, but you know that could take a miracle. Aoki is going for the short lap. He's going to put some distance on him and Eric Stark. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting last part of the race when we get to it. We're only on lap 3 out of 6, but when we get on to lap 6, I think this is going to be a little unpredictable.
The biggest news coming out of this race is going to be that Aoki is definitely back. Looking at where they were yesterday, the boat looks a lot more stable. Danny is clearly in position to be fighting for the lead. So I think that's good news for our race excitement today. I think Aoki's back in it.
Well, they're the championship leaders, so you can understand why they've managed to sort of sort themselves out after a difficult qualifying yesterday. Alula currently leading Rusty Wyatt, but we know that he will have to do an extra long lap. You're on board with Danny Kloss right now in 2nd place, trying to open up that gap. And actually, the gap back to Sierra has opened up quite a lot. So Danny is in a kind of 2nd place, which could well be a leading position when Rusty Wyatt has to do that extra lap.
Yeah, just following along with the Aoki boat, you can see that it's a lot more stable. Yesterday it was hunting a lot. You could kind of see the boat shimmying back and forth really uncomfortably. I heard that the pilots were complaining a little bit about the handling, but now they're looking very good. So one thing I want to note, unfortunately, Cristina Lazaraga is very far back in the pack. I don't want to make that her fault. It's definitely that boat. So that's really unfortunate to see. Like we were talking about earlier, you know, they've had very good luck last season, and now they're back at square one. So
yeah,
hard to see for those guys.
That is tough. But for the moment, Rusty Wyatt just having to go as absolutely fast as possible, trying to open up that gap more, knowing by now he'll have had the message from team that you're going to have to do another long lap.
Yeah, if he doesn't start taking his long laps now, I don't think he's going to have enough time to finish them. So I expect to see them pretty quickly.
So Lula on to the first long lap that they have to do. We now know they have to do 2. So Rusty Wyatt is taking on that long lap. In the meantime, this will, of course, already cost a bit of time to Aoki, but Aoki will have to do it. They haven't done it yet, Danny Kloss, but he's taken the different line, which is understandable.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see at the end, this is my prediction here, I think we're going to see Sierra squeak out at the end here. They're on their long lap right now. Eric has been no stranger to final lap, final corner passes. We have a huge gap between Sierra and Miami and Rafa in the back. So I think what we're going to see is so long as nothing crazy happens, we're going to see Eric Stark squeak out towards the front. Not sure if he'll be able to pass Danny, but I think he's going to get way closer to the top of the box here.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I still think that, as you say, that last lap could prove to be very, very intriguing. And of course, remember, the winner of this race will go directly to the final, whereas everybody else will not. And whoever finishes last will then go into the other format of racing. They won't make it to the finals.
Yeah, this is where things really start to count. And getting knocked out this early is definitely not a good feeling for pilots. It can really mess with your confidence. So it's good to set the stage now, do well, and set your day up.
So we're on lap 5 out of 6. Aoki currently leading this now from Alula with a nearly 9-second advantage. But of course, we are going to see Rusty Wyatt have to go around the long lap again. Miami on a current short lap at this stage, so that will close the gap up to Sierra.
They might be able to make it around Eric now, but Eric still has yet to take a short lap, so I think he can very easily take that back.
Yeah, we'll be able to take that back quite easily. And as you say, this is turning out to be a little sad for Rafa. They are struggling.
Look at this. Look at the speed on the Sierra boat. Just they might even pass Miami in the straight right here.
Yeah, that's impressive. They suddenly come right up together. Eric Stark, you're riding with?
Watch, he's going to move over and put her in the spray.
Wow. There you go. That's an interesting move.
There it is. Eric Stark going for the pass. Right now, you can see he cut over in a safe way, but he cut over, put her in the prop wash, and that's going to slow the boat down tremendously. So, unfortunate for Miami. They had the right strategy, but Eric just had the experience and had the speed.
Fair play. Okay, Rafa right down at the back, actually being caught by Aoki, by Danny Kloss, who is currently leading at this moment. We are about to go on to the final lap.
So my prediction here is we're going to see Eric Stark take the short lap now, close up the gap to Alula and Aoki, and as Aoki takes the long lap, we're going to see Eric catch up quite a bit. So let's see what happens.
Right, well, here we go. This is going to be, as you say, very interesting because both Danny Kloss and Rusty Wyatt will go on to the long lap. Aoki and Alula, I think, will both have to go on to that long lap because we know it's a second long lap for Rusty Wyatt.
Yep, so here goes Danny on that long lap. If he can make it through there smoothly, he should be okay, but I'm curious to see how much gap Eric can catch up here.
Yeah, absolutely. We shall see. For Sierra, this could make it a little bit tighter coming around onto the last lap. Here you are, riding on board with Danny Kloss, looking very calm, isn't he?
Yeah, he always keeps it pretty cool and collected, so I think he has enough of a gap here that Eric's not going to be able to make any threats against him, but I do think he'll catch up a little bit. Eric's on that short lap now, like I thought, so yeah. I think he's a little too far behind to really do anything with that, but he's caught up quite a bit, so good for them.
Yeah, well, let's see where Sierra comes out relative to Alula in particular. It could be pretty tight there. Rusty Wyatt on the outside, Alula currently running in second place. Sierra on the inside, having done the short lap. Eric Stark has got an opportunity, getting close enough. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I think Rusty still has him here, but yeah, hard to say. But like we said earlier, yeah, Eric's going for the short lap right now, so we'll see. I think that should help him pull away from Rusty here.
Yeah, so that will, definitely.
Man, really unfortunate to see Rafa nearly in a lap rider position here. There's Eric Stark. He's going for the pass at the end. Oh my gosh, he may have gotten it.
No, it's Aoki who's won.
Oh, that was so close. Like I said, Eric Stark, you cannot count him out.
That was amazing. Eric Stark within 0.3 of a second of Danny Kloss, and Alula Rusty Wyatt finishing in 3rd place, getting that penalty, but at least they're going through. But it means that Aoki are safe. They're getting into the finals without having to go through the other stages, the race-off, and of course finishing down in last place. Chris Lazaraga, we haven't seen the Rafa come over the line yet, such a long way back.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It may have been a little bit of a blessing for Team Miami because Christina is so far behind. That's really unfortunate. I'm sure they're extremely frustrated right now. And I can't help but wonder how they would have finished had they been in their usual fighting position. So hate to see that, but that may have been a blessing for Miami.
And just to remind you, the difference in the livery there is that because they're in a spare boat for today, because they had a problem with their normal race boat, and that's why they're in this one, and it's clearly it's not behaving in the way that they know well, so they've struggled with pace, and this does mean that they will go into what's called the place race. You will not score many points. You can score a few points in the place race, but you will not be going into the finals if you finish last in this race. So sadly for Team Rafa, it has not been a particularly good time, but it's just been unfortunate with their boat yesterday. And they were 6th in the championship coming into this weekend. They are definitely going to drop a few places.
I can imagine there's a lot of partying going on in the Sierra garage today with the 2 owners there, and Eric doing as well as he did. You know, seeing a last corner pass or close to pass like that is very exciting, and that's something that Eric's known for.
Absolutely. Well, Aoki have really done well here. That has performed well, and as they are already leading the championship at the moment, this has given them a really another great opportunity to score great points when we get into the finals later. You still can't predict it. You still never quite know what's going to happen, but that is perfect after a difficult day yesterday.
Yeah, we're not sure how the day's going to end, but one thing we know for sure is Aoki is back. They're definitely in a fighting position compared to where they were yesterday. Danny's definitely in a good mood, and that makes for good racing.
Yeah, it does. No, he was absolutely up for it, and they have delivered extremely well.
Yeah, and we got the victory guys pulling Eric out of the boat right here.
So
he's thinking about it.
That was such fun, wasn't it? The way that doing that short lap on the last lap and finishing second by just 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, Eric's powerboat experience really shone through there. You saw it on the start when he was battling. You saw it when he gave Rihanna a little stuffing into the corner for that pass, and then you saw it at the end when he went for it with Danny Close. So that's one of the things about Eric that usually stays on brand, is when it comes to fighting, he's definitely capable.
Yeah, definitely. Great stuff. So lots to look forward to, but some great racing going on and an opportunity to catch up with some of the pilots. Let's go back down to Taylor.
You know it was 0.3. Yes, nothing.
What a race that was. I told you guys, don't fight yet, Danny and Eric.
It was the opposite. It's like, man, we were so close, you know? It was like, but yeah, amazing race.
Yeah,
I love to race with him. Since the first year we said, man, we need to do something together, race head to head with his experience. It's fantastic. So
yeah, really good race for you.
You too, man.
Eric, it came right down to the line. What would you have pulled off for Danny, or did he have it already?
I mean, you think you have it until you see someone like him coming, you know, and then you say like, man, this is not sure. This is not for sure.
I mean, I turned around there, I see you there, and I was like, no boots, no boots, no boots, no boots. No, come on, give me just a little bit.
Yes.
No, it was a fantastic race. Yeah. I wanted that first place to get.
You have another fight.
You're good. Danny, are you guys back? Is Aoki back? Yesterday was an off day.
No, I mean, we're back, yes. We're doing the job today. We were good at the start. We were fighting for a bit. You know, the start was tough. I didn't saw, there was a moment that I didn't saw anything, and I had Rusty in front, and I said like, okay, like, I don't care. You know, if we touch. But at the end, everything came out nice and clean. And, you know, the dragon is still there, so happy to be in the final.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you guys can fight. Go for it.
Well, great to see the relationship between them, and racing so hard, being 0.3 of a second apart, but they obviously get on really well. Anna, you say that all the pilots do get on pretty well in E1. You've raced so much.
Yeah, I'd say generally speaking, everybody gets along, but we do have a couple tense pilots in the track. So here we are on the start. Rusty, man, he was really pushing it. Yeah, unfortunate to see them get a jump start penalty because that would have been the perfect race for them. But he managed to still make things happen in the end. So this was probably one of the best starts we've seen in a while. Everybody's up on the foils. Nobody's really falling off. And you can see as they tighten things up right here, looking at Aoki's onboard cam, he's got Eric Stark gunning for him.
I wondered if we were going to see some contact into that first section, but actually they managed to behave all pretty well.
Yep, that's going to be that powerboating experience. Eric kind of knows his boundaries, and very rarely does he ever create carnage unnecessarily.
So, getting the turn done correctly.
This is what I was talking about earlier. You know, Eric is going really wide and keeping his speed up. So, not necessarily wrong, but Aoki had the better move here, moving to the left and getting into that clean water.
This is onboard Sierra, and you can see they were all pretty close together at this early stage. And of course, when we go through the different laps they have to do, they can split up. But that was really side by side.
Close one here, almost tapping wings there. Getting really close on Aoki. That's the sandwich that I was talking about earlier. But Danny had the right move, trying to keep things tight on Rusty, and just didn't give Eric anywhere to go.
No, absolutely, but Eric doing a good job.
This is what we hate to see. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is Eric making a huge pass on Miami. He just had the drive. You know, you see Rihanna kind of falling off the foil, trying to navigate through the chop there, and then watches Eric, after he gets alongside her, gets around her, you see him just put her in his prop wash, and she doesn't really have anywhere to go after that.
Absolutely. Once you're following another boat, it's always hard. And then this wonderful finish.
This is the big finish. Yeah. This is what I expected to see from Eric Stark. This is so close. Eric's barely even moving. He didn't have that much momentum, but that line was so short he took it.
That was amazing.
Close one, but good for Danny Close for hanging in there.
Really impressive. Yeah, that was so tight between the two of them. And it was certainly coming up as 0.3 of a second. I wonder if it was even closer than that, actually. But
by a nose.
Yeah, it was tiny. Get another view of it here, coming from the short lap.
Yeah, this is what's incredible. As you can see, Danny has the drive. The boat is flying. It looks really stable. And here's Eric in a rodeo, but he just had that little nose there. Very, very close. I think we're gonna see some more of that today.
Well, that'll be good to look forward to. So we may see some last moment short laps, but congratulations to Danny, who did just manage to hold on.
You can tell he feels so good after the day they had yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And particularly when you get the win in this race to go through to the finals without having to do the race off later.
Yep, a burden off their shoulders for sure.
Yeah, it's gone really, really well for them. Fantastic. So, more opportunities, of course. We'll be getting into some more racing, but lots to talk about. Let's go back down to Taylor.
Down here, and there's been a little bit of change. I'm just hearing from Mission Control and Race Control that there has been a change in who the winner is. Eric, you have taken the win. How does that feel?
How can that happen?
Okay, now I love racing. I love racing. I love racing.
How is that happening?
I don't have the exact results, but they're saying that Eric is taking the win. You can see him celebrating with Katie. Unfortunately, you do have to now go and race again. That doesn't send you to the final.
It's okay, I can race. I did it once, I can do it twice. Fuck it.
Oh, okay. Eric, how do you feel about the win?
Amazing, amazing. I know it was tight, but I mean, you know, I think maybe we both deserved it. So this time I won. We thought it was Danny first, but he's racing. He's quick, he will do it again. So I'm happy. I will go and relax in Ocean Club.
Congratulations, guys.
Fucking hell, eh?
Thinking, actually, did he?
I hate to be that person, but I called it. That definitely looked like Eric. So that was a risky move on their part, but it paid off. But man, I feel for Danny.
So it has shifted. They've rechecked it, and it's only 0.025 a second. Sierra taking the win. Eric Stark taking the victory from Danny Kloss by that tiny, tiny margin. Rusty Wyatt third for Alula, but also very rapid. And Miami finished in fourth place with Rihanna O'Meara Hunt. And at the back and out effectively, they'll be going into the place race later, is Team Rafa. So let's take a look at the grid now for race 4, the Group B grid. We're going to see Westbrook from P1, Blue Rising from P2. They did a really good race earlier on. Drogba in third, Brady fourth, and Monaco in 5th position. So it'll be Monaco that will be starting from that outside row. And Team Monaco still in their first season, and they've got to try and do something from there.
Yeah, I don't think Oben's going to have too many issues starting from the outside. She is tough. She is a fighter. So I think they'll be okay as long as they get a good run at it.
So Team Monaco starting P4, Team Brady. This very, very successful team. Of course, Sam Coleman in it.
Yeah, it looks like Brady's got the boat sorted out. So coming off of that penalty, as long as Sam drives a smart race, I think we'll see them be a threat here.
The battles are going to be tight all the way through. Drogba will be starting from P3. And this is another team that ultimately trying to get right up there, and with a new pilot, Tara Pacheco.
Yeah, this will be really the first time we see Tara in action, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do.
Yeah, she's developing well at the moment. And then, starting from P2, it is Blue Rising with Michelle Alabaden, who's going to be the pilot this time.
Yeah, she had a little bit of trouble last season, but I think moving to another team might be a good refresh for her. John is a very talented pilot, and I think he's got the support she needs.
And starting from the pole position, it's Westbrook, and Sarah Price will be in control.
Yeah, this is one of the most consistent teams in the paddock, so Lucas did a great job, Sarah's ready to get in the boat, and I think they're going to be ones to watch here, especially on that pole position.
So here we are, just getting ready.
Very even start.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all happening straight away. Who's going to be able to get away?
Michelle is very tight on Westbrook right now. We'll have to see if there's any infringement going on right there. I think it's going to be an infringement for Michelle there, but we'll see what happens.
Really?
Very tight. Oh my goodness, Michelle. Westbrook is not going to be happy about that.
No, absolutely. So Michelle Alabaden having a little bit of contact there, but this is making for a tough competition coming into this first section.
Drogba and Tara are in a very good position right now. Let's see if she can hang on to that second place coming out of all of this wash. Wow.
Blue Rising not having a great start, down in 4th place. And Team Brady, Sam Coleman, with all the success that he's had in the past, he's down at the back.
Yes, I'm not sure what's going on with Sam there, but hopefully he'll be okay. Let's see if we have any more contact from Michelle there. She seems to have moved up a little bit. I'm waiting to hear if there's some kind of penalty for that incident.
Okay, well, we shall see if that's the case. We've got the 3 together, and Sam Coleman on the outside is looking to try and take a bit of an advantage.
It's looking very, oh my goodness, Michelle and Sam Coleman almost come together there.
It is tight, isn't it? But he's just about made it. So Westbrook, Sarah Price, is in control at the moment.
Whoa, crazy line choice from Sarah Pacheco there. Wow, it must be really rough out there. We've got race birds all over the racetrack. They're straightened out right here. Let's see what happens.
It does look as though the lake has suddenly got a bit more rough, isn't it? Because they're all bouncing around so much more.
Sam looks like he just found something in the tank here. He's making the move on Team Monaco and catching up to Drogba. So now that he's gotten out of the wash, it's time to see some real racing. Team Brady right alongside Drogba.
Well, he's doing well because he was down the back and now suddenly doing a big thing.
With Drogba and Brady side by side, it looks like Brady may have just cut underneath Drogba to take the long lap. I was hoping to see some rail-to-rail action there.
That might be logical though, because he's now clear space. He has following boats always slows you down a little bit longer, doesn't it?
Yes, I haven't heard anything about the incident on the straightaway with Blue Rising. They may have made it out okay. We'll see.
Yeah, no, will be looked into, I'm sure. So Westbrook with a decent lead, Drogba in 2nd place, and Sarah Price.
Man, they've got more. Damn, this poor boat is just taking a beating today. There's carnage on both sides.
But it's still running. It's still running very well.
Yeah, Sarah maintained her line and really stuck it out. So it's very easy, to want to let off, but she did great. So Westbrook taking the short lap now to try and extend that lead. Haven't seen that strategy yet, so we'll see if it pays off for them. Wow, we have all 3, first, second, and third, taking the short lap now. I don't know, if it was me, I may have wanted to hang on to that till the end, so we'll see if it pays off for Brady.
No, that's interesting. That 3 have taken the short lap already. We've seen Sam Coleman now in 4th place. He's done the long lap. So has Michelle Alabaden. They've both done the long lap. You just do one of each, remember, 1 short lap, 1 long lap. As long as you don't get a penalty for something from the start, and that could still come up. You're on board with Tom Brady. So having done that long lap, and Monaco now on the long lap. So Oben Duncan And Drogba, Drogba going a slightly odd line there.
Yeah, Drogba, maybe she got the call a little bit late, or she may have been, very focused on the line that she was running, but she kind of had to cut over. Thankfully, she didn't impede Monaco too much, because I'm sure Oben would have had something to say, but Oben running a very fast, wide line right now through the water. Let's see if she can make a pass here. I don't know.
Yeah, well, she's very, very close to Drogba, so Tara Pacheco under pressure from Oben Duncan. Oben Duncan, she's been competing in E1 for the last couple of years, whereas for Tara, this is all a bit new for her, so it's a great opportunity, but let's see how it goes.
Right here, Oben making the crossover on the prop wash. That can be very difficult to do, so keeping it stable is very good, but you don't want to be on the right side coming into that yellow smart mark, because it really leaves you nowhere to go. So now, Oben has a better line if she can hold it.
Absolutely, and behind them, Sam Coleman is still behind, having done that long lap. You can see in the background, not too far behind.
Yeah, I think he's in a good position, so we'll see what happens. He's taking a short lap now, so right now he may be able to get around both Drogba and Monaco, and that's going to slide him right into second, which is good.
Yeah, you're right. Look at that. Look at Brady. Using the short lap, because they'd already done it, that does bring him up to second place.
And he's already taken the long lap and the short lap, so he can stay right where he is without having to deviate from the line. So that was really smart on their move. That may be what secures the win for them, because Sarah Price still needs to take that long lap, and Sam Coleman's not far behind.
Blue Rising at the back at the moment. And so we do hear there is a penalty for Drogba, for Tara Pacheco. So that means that is going to affect it big time. Third place at the moment, but there is every chance that she may be pushed down to the back by the end of it.
Yeah, I'm curious what the tune Drogba for closing Monaco. Yeah, that's either from the start or possibly from that long lap incident that I was saying, where Tara was kind of committed to one line and then she kind of changed it up at the last second. Usually they don't take too kindly to that, so it could be either of those things. We'll hear more later, but right now I want to talk about Sam Coleman closing the gap on Westbrook, with Sarah still having to take the long lap. So this may be putting Sam in a good position right now, because she's not terribly far ahead of him, and she's really going to need to move.
I agree with that, because
big one for Sarah Price. That's slowing her way down. Where's Sam Coleman? Right behind her. This is going to be a big one, guys.
You're right, because the gap at 11 seconds, that for her is not a big enough gap when she goes on to do the long tour as well, because Brady will then be in front. So Drogba in third, but with an extra long lap to have to do. Monaco in fourth and still quite close. So I think there's every chance that Drogba, with that penalty, they may well, be pushed down. That's what our result predictor says, that Drogba will be pushed to the back. That's part of what we've got, and our predictor is saying that Tom Brady's going to win this.
Yeah, I think if Sam just stays on track here tailing Sarah Price, she's going to have a really hard time maintaining that. What I'm hoping to see is going to be a drag race from Sarah coming out of the long lap and Sam trying to make the pass. So we might be in the move to see some exciting drag racing at the end of this race.
Absolutely. So the gap down to 8.6 seconds as you're riding on board.
And he's getting close to that aerated water. Once you get close to that aerated water behind the boat, you're within striking distance. So Sarah really needs to speed it up, or she's going to be looking at the nose of Sam Coleman's boat pretty soon.
Yeah, Sam Coleman in Tom Brady's boat, and Sam Coleman is doing a really good job so far.
We've got Tara taking the long lap penalty right now. Looks like Michelle is going to be able to make the pass there and move up a spot.
So let's see, there changes all the way onto the last lap. Sarah Price will be going on to the long lap, and it does look as though she's going to lose that place to Sam Coleman.
Yeah, here we go. This is a very tight gap to be taking the long lap right now, so Westbrook is definitely at risk. But if she runs a really smooth long lap and Sam messes something up, she could still make it, but
absolutely. Well, let's see what happens here. She's going to have to go long here.
Oh, okay, good. She's taking the long. I thought she was running the regular line there for a second. So here comes Sam Coleman in the Tom Brady boat. Yeah. I'm sure Sarah's already been informed that she needs to lay everything on the line here right now.
Absolutely. And is she going to be finishing in second place? It seems more likely at the moment that Sarah Price will finish in second. Sam Coleman.
I think Sam's got it.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job as ever, Sam Coleman. He's always very, very strong in this. We know that they are the double champions, of course, and Sam Coleman.
Here we go. Here's the view from Sarah's boat. I'm sure she sees her win kind of going right through her fingers right now. Unfortunately, Sam really, look at that. Look at the gap on that.
Big lead, big lead. So is Sarah going to get that second place? It's looking like she's going to hold on to second, but it does mean, of course, that Team Brady, they've had a really up and down weekend.
Whoa, big one from Sarah Price. That was weird back there. She got a little sideways, but she looks like she maintained it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Sam's going to be good right here.
Yeah, no, this has been great for Sam Coleman, for Team Brady, and Sam Coleman is going to be able to take the victory, and of course this will take them into the finals without having to go out and do some more racing to make sure that they can confirm their position in the finals. And this is great news for the team currently second in the championship. Sam Coleman wins the race for Brady. Second place goes to Sarah Price for Westbrook. And third place is going to go to Monaco. Open Duncan's done well there, actually, in the end, because it was a bit of a difficult initial section. But it does mean that with that extra penalty, Tara Pacheco is going to finish in fifth. We're looking at Blue Rising, and Michelle Alabaden has made it through. But it means that Drogba will not be getting through to the finals. And Tara Pacheco, but she's still learning. She's got a lot to learn in E1, but it just didn't quite work out for her.
Yeah, she was having a pretty good run. You know, if that penalty came from switching lanes into the outside long lap, you know, I'd be curious to see if that was an issue on her part or if that was a communication error with the team. So that may not be on her. So we'll find out later, I'm sure.
Well, congratulations to
Team Brady.
Team Brady.
Excited over there. I'm sure they're feeling a lot better after yesterday. So props to their mechanics for figuring out whatever was going wrong yesterday. It sounds like they figured it out.
Great stuff. Really impressive. And Sam Coleman had done a really excellent job there. But for Blue Rising, it was a bit more challenging. So let's see if we can have a word. So we're looking at Team Blue Racing. Sorry, TV just getting in touch. Michelle Alabaden, that was a tough one, but you finished in fourth place.
Yeah, I finished in fourth place. A bit rusty after 3 months of not racing and testing. But I'll take it. I'll take it, you know, I'll take it.
Thank you, thank you. Well, let's see. They've got through to the next stage, and we shall see how it all goes. Didn't finish last, thankfully, for them. It's Drogba that will not be making it through into the final. But for the victory for Sam Coleman, that was so impressive, because when we'll look back at the highlights in a moment. First, the opening lap was quite challenging, but lap after lap, he just put it all together.
Yeah, that's pretty consistent from Team Brady, especially from Sam. Sam may not always be the most aggressive driver like his counterpart, Emma Kymäläinen, but when it comes down to it, you know, he's got what it takes.
So automatically into the final, but...
If you'll see right now, Sarah's talking to this gal here with a headset on. That is Claire. Claire actually is one of the instructors that taught all of these pilots how to drive the race bird. She is tough, and she is an official UIM instructor.
Right, okay, well, that's good to know. Doing fine there, no doubt about it, and finishing in second place for that one. The gap was some 12 seconds in the end, but still, they have to do an extra race now. They have to go into what's called the race-off, where we will then lose a couple more. But nonetheless, it's been a really interesting battle, and they're in good pace, so no problems. Sam Coleman, the winner of that race. Let's go down there and hear from him.
Sam Coleman, yesterday you guys got out a little bit early. You said that was just a chance for you to look at data. That seemed to have worked out because you just took the win and you are headed straight into the final.
Yeah, yesterday afternoon we worked pretty hard to get us back to where we want to be. That doesn't mean that we're going to be flying in the final, but the first goal is always get to the final, and it's a load off knowing that we don't have to fight through the race off. There's so many competitive teams here and guys going fast, and some surprises too, so it's great to get straight to the final. I'm looking forward to chucking Emma back in the boat and seeing how we go.
And what a race that was. There was different strategies coming into play, but Sarah Price, she had it going pretty much the whole time. Sarah, how was your race? That was so close there.
Well, on the start, I got completely screwed. I got pushed out massively, so I had to go off course and tried to get back on, and I was left no room, and so I hit that inner wing on the buoy. The whole race, I was just trying to keep the race bird on plane, but it was near impossible, and I knew he was coming, and I was like, this sucks!
There's me thinking I'm catching you in a clean fight and you're injured.
That Westbrook boat is taking a little bit of a beating today.
As you see, it already went to the crane. Both of our foils have hits on them now.
And you're still coming out swinging. Now you know they're still here to fight, but...
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I was like really confident with our team strategy, and I had a terrible start as well. I tried to get in a gap between Drogba and Monaco and got completely squeezed out. Big lift, so we're straight out the back door, down the start straight as well. So I was happy to come back and be battling with you. So well done.
Good job.
Great race, both of you. Congratulations, Sam. Team Brady.
Good stuff once again, yeah, and both respecting each other extremely well. So there's the results of that race 4 Group B, with Brady winning it, with Sam Coleman taking the victory from Westbrook. Sarah Price did a good job, but 12 seconds behind in the end. Monaco's into 3rd place. Blue Rising, Michael Alabaden, they're still in there because they had a tough time yesterday, but Drogba, sadly, they are not going to be into the finals at the end of the day today. Still a chance to score a few points, but not so many. Let's have a look at the highlights and talk about what went on there.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I don't want to be dramatic here, but I'm really surprised that Michelle didn't get some kind of penalty for that driving. You know, I can't tell if that was a mistake or if that was aggressive, reckless driving or not, but Sarah did a really good job of keeping her head on. Man, that was just tough. And then from here, things just got tight.
It did, absolutely. But thankfully,
yeah, you'll see right here, this is on board with Sarah. We'll see Michelle getting really close. And then at some point, right here, we see them just getting a little bit tight.
And it must be...
All right.
It must be so tricky. I mean, you're an ex-pilot.
And a little love tap
yeah.
for Michelle. You know, that first lane is usually sacred and you're not supposed to infringe upon them, but I don't know. I can't tell if that was driver error or what.
Yeah, and sometimes as a pilot, you can't actually see much with the spray. When you're side by side, you're maybe just behind the boat in front of you, suddenly you lose all vision, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Having a good spotter on the start is critical because sometimes you're in the whitewash and you literally cannot see anything. So having a good spotter somewhere on the shoreline is very important. This was the crossover that I think possibly got that Drogba penalty. So she was committed to taking the regular racing line and then at the very last minute cut over. I don't know necessarily that that's infringing on Monaco, but you shouldn't be making last-minute decisions like that. But it could have been the team that called that. That could have been her. It could have been a couple different things. But I believe that's why they got that penalty.
Okay, I understand. Well, it was an absolutely superb victory by Brady for Sam Coleman. That was superb. He got it absolutely right, and to take quite a comfortable victory in the end after what has been a challenging season. But they are always so competitive. We've seen them so competitive throughout the last 2 years. Second in the championship going into this event, and only 7 points behind Aoki, and it looks as though they're going to be battling once again for those maximum points when we get into the final.
Yeah, I love that Sarah kind of took him down a little bit of a peg at the end there by reminding him that she was driving injured, for lack of a better word. You can see at the bottom right corner, the Westbrook boat's headed back to the crane, so we'll see if they get some changes to the foils.
But here you go, we've gone through the group stages. So the race-off, we'll see Westbrook versus Aoki, Alula, Monaco, Miami and Blue Rising. But in the finals, we have, this is provisional result. So yeah, because there's a bit more to add to this still. And the place race, of course, means you do not be going into the finals. So Rafa and Drogba, for example, will be in that.
Yeah, the race-off is looking really stacked. That's going to be 6 boats on the track, which is a lot without very much room.
Absolutely. It's going to be fascinating racing still to come up, and then all the big points for the final. So much to enjoy at Lake Como.